Hello creators, it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations. Today we're playing with a celebration set, Painted Seasons, as well as a set from the annual catalog, Thankful Thoughts. I came up with this card and it's also using some of that awesome DSP. We'll go over that in a minute. I've put on some crumb cake ribbon and it just uses a few pieces of paper. So I'm really excited to get this going for you. Let's jump right in. So the supplies that we're going to need today include 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1.5 by 2.5. And these just so happen to be from the Wood Textures designer series paper. Those come in 6x6 sheets. A lot of really cool pieces in there. So I have 4 pieces of those. We have 4 pieces of the Early Espresso cardstock. These are the mats that are going to go behind our DSP, and these pieces measure 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. I have another piece of the Early Espresso cardstock here. This piece measures 1.5 by 5.5. I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock that measures 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I have a standard card base out of Early Espresso. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And then I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock to stamp some of our images from the Painted Seasons set. So we're going to start with our stamping first. I'm going to use the Early Espresso Classic Stampin' Pad to stamp the word thanks. And this is from the Thankful Thoughts stamp set. So I've mounted up this right here. We're going to stamp that off to the right of our crumb cake piece. And now I'm going to also bring in Mossy Meadow. And we're going to stamp on our scrap of Whisper White. So I've mounted up the pine cone and the fern, both from the Painted Seasons Celebration set. This is still available until March 31st with a qualifying purchase. So I'm going to stamp 2 pine cones and 1 fern. What I really like about this set is how beautiful the detail comes out. There's some light areas and there's some dark areas, and it really gives it a nice texture. Now it's time to fussy cut these pieces. And if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, you can just do a general outline, but I really liked how it looks without any of the white surrounding the image. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right down on in there. Okay, now that we have those cut out, we're going to adhere our designer series paper pieces to those little matte pieces. Now we're going to adhere our thanks to our longer piece of the Early Espresso. Going to use my bone folder to give that score line a good crease. And now this is where I'm going to get a little dimensional crazy. So on the back of each of these, I'm going to put 5 dimensionals each. Now, is that overboard? Maybe. Do you have to do that? No, probably not. But I really like to make sure that my cards are sturdy and stable, especially with the raised portions. And because I don't know if I'm going to be mailing this card or handing it out in person, I just want to make sure that it's really good to go. And then on the back of our thanks, I'm going to tie a little bit of ribbon on the side here, but I'm also going to run some dimensionals all the way down. And what I want to do with these is double them up, because I want this layer to pop up farther than the other layers. So I have some gorgeous crumb cake ribbon here. This is the classic weave ribbon. And we're just going to tie a little bit right in between those two dimensionals there. We're just going to tie a simple knot. Now you can definitely do this before you put your dimensionals down. That way you can lay it on the table. But you know me, I like to live dangerously. All right, so we're going to place our DSP panels in each of the four corners of our card. And I'm trying to pick DSP that kind of complements each other. So I want to put these two dark pieces kind of on the opposite corners and the lighter pieces across from them. So it kind of breaks out the pattern. And this is going to get lined up right with the edge of your card base. All right, and then that middle panel, we're going to pop up right in the middle. And finally, with some glue dots, we're going to slap on our fern and pine cones. And there we go, creators. There are two beautiful cards made from the Painted Seasons Celebration stamp set, as well as Thankful Thoughts and the Wood Textures Designer Series paper. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. You can follow me online at melissascreations.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/MKre8tions. I'm also on social media. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest with the handle at MKre8tions. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!